Hi, everybody. I'm Abby from Pennsylvania. I'm so excited about this week and this whole course, but this week because we're talking about young adult, and that is my genre that I choose to write in, so I'm happy about that. Basically, I work with teens on a daily basis, so within the homeschooling community, and I teach them classes, and so I have a lot of opportunity to really get close to them because my classes are small. Like, they rarely go above 10 students, so you really get to know them and get to know their hearts, their fears, their desires, and one thing I've noticed is that their emotions are so large, like how they react to things. It's always so large. And I think that's just because this is their first time coming upon some of these things. So they don't really know how to cope with everything yet, and everything gets blown out of proportion. And I think it's a big heart. And I think that there's something that I enjoy about young adult fiction is addressing that. And like, if someone's having a problem, with their sexuality, maybe they're being pressured to drink, bullying, terminal diseases, injuries, maybe that person can find solace in a book. So I'm more interested in realistic as the lecture that we watched, realistic young adult rather than, mythological vampires and Hunger Games-ish stuff. That's just not me. But, it has its place. It's fantastical. It's fun. I mean, I did like Harry Potter, so, But the thing that makes young adult is, I think, less about the topics. This is my opinion. Less about the topics and more about who's telling the story. So a lot of times they're written in first person from what I find. And the person that's narrated through is a teenager. And so it's told through his or her perspective, which you can get into the brain of a teenager that way. I just like that. So on the 5 rules of young adult literature from the M's Place blog, number 1 says stuff has to happen. Well, yeah, I think that's true of all literature. 2, the age, which I already talked about. 3, adults may advise but not solve the problem. And I think that's important because teens nowadays really just need to learn how to take care of their problems. Mommy and daddy can't do everything. Also, the reader must relate to the protagonist's problems, and I agree with that. They have to be relatable in some way, even if they're not likable. They need to be relatable. There needs to be something in there that grabs you and says, you know what, I feel that sometimes. And then the 5th one, I don't know if I agree with that much. Use the most efficient language, not expletive laden. I don't know. I just got done reading Catcher in the Rye, and I kind of disagree because I felt like that was expletive laden. I read many, and they don't shy away from the swear words at all, unless this means something else and I'm wrong. But, the young adult genre, a lot of the books don't shy away from that. So, in John Green's article said a few things that really touched me as well. The 3 of the things that I want to quote are honest without being hopeless, hopeful without being dishonest, and the way down deepness that is within you. Yes, that's exactly the way I feel about young adult literature. Like, there's all these issues, but in the middle of all these issues, they still find love. They still have the normal everyday problems. And I mean, John Green's work encompasses that because, he's writing about kids that have terminal illnesses and really Jacqueline Woodson's short stories, I feel like they are more memoirs, like an adult writing about their past than they are short stories. And I don't know if they are memoirs. It says they're short stories, so I guess they're not, but the feel of them was very memoirish, so I don't know if they are considered young adult. While it's not written like young adults generally like the teenage years. It's not written, these stories seem like they're written as an adult looking back on their childhood, like young childhood, like 7-year-olds. So I don't feel like they match the young adult genre at all. That being said, they were really good, and I think they highlight the difference between growing up African American as opposed to, say, Caucasian. And I think they were fantastic, and they reminded me of like the Harlem Renaissance authors. So I enjoyed those, and I actually want my kids to read those. I think those are good. So yeah, so I'm really excited. I can't wait to get in deeper. I can't wait to comment on everybody's posts and see what everybody else thinks. I know that young adult fiction is not for everybody, and and that's the thing. Like, okay, I'm going off now, but that's the thing about young adult fiction is just it encompasses all the other genres, just that it's written for teenagers with a teenage main protagonist, if that makes sense. So it's, romance, it's supernatural, it's thriller, it's all of these things, but within an age range. So I kind of feel like, I almost feel as if it's less of a genre, more of just an age range, if that makes sense. And it's just how I feel about it. So I don't know if you agree. If you disagree, please tell me and tell me why. Okay. So thank you. Bye.